Okay, here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time from the mid lane, in the form of a post-game commentary. So plan was Vel'Koz, but since I'm blind picking, he said, you know what, screw it, let's go Veigar. So this is promo game 4. If I win this, then I get the Graves Chroma thing for the end of season reward. The only thing is, now I have to figure out how do I play Graves. In case you're wondering, I do not own him, so that's why he hasn't really appeared on the channel lately. I'd play him when Free Week came around, but that was a long time ago, back when he was actually an 80 carry. So anyway, Veigar received some buffs here, and if you look at the massive length of this video, you can see that you're going to get a demonstration for those. Anyway, enemy team locks in Gnar and Sejuani first. I do not own either Gragas or Sedge, so I can't first pick them for any teammates. Then again, you have to remember that Gragas is our top laner, so yeah. Anyway, in case you're wondering, Game 1, Lux, it wasn't very eventful. Like, the highlight of that game would be a Dragon Steal with my ult, but otherwise there wasn't really anything there. The second game was more interesting. You got to see me troll the hell out of Lee. So both of those were wins. Game 3 was as Vel'Koz. I had a garbage top laner just like the Lux games. So, that one we couldn't persevere through. As a result, here we are with the tiny Master of Evil. So right there I scrolled through his skins thinking, why don't I own at least one by now? I don't know if I'm going to pick one up just yet, or which one, if even that. I was doing some math. I picked up Blood Moon Kennen. I have enough to get Tango Akali, and then I could get Final Boss, but that will wipe out whatever I have left of RP, so I don't know if I'm going to do that just yet or what, because I don't think I have enough to get an ultimate if it comes out. I think I'm a little short. But anyway, you got to see my mastery page there. I'm running Flash and Ghost as usual. I'm mid against Morgana. So right there, you can see they locked in a Soraka, which tells you the Morg is mid. So the whole thing about Morg being mid is she has Black Shield to walk through Event Horizon, and she's just going to try to hard push with her W. That's her whole thing. Then, if the need arises, she can actually roam either top or bot and try to get a kill with her Q and her ult. But otherwise, it's pretty much a farming lane, and I'm going to play that accordingly. So, let's go over how he... I don't know if I actually mouse over, but I'll tell you what's changed on him. The big one is his W change. Dark Matter now will... Actually, I don't think I've played him since he got his rework on the channel, but... Dark Matter now gets cooldown for every 50 stacks passive you get, and that's additional cooldown on top of whatever CDR you actually happen to get. And real quick on the topic of Honor, if you didn't see, there is an Honor Ward skin. Those are probably going to be given out annually. Since my pylon is blue, I think I may want to try to get Honor level 4 before end of season, so I at least get a purple one. I'll probably never actually use it because I like my pylon better, but I'll have something to give a little bit of variety. Also worth mentioning, since I have hit at least silver in 2 different queues, I will get the Victorious Ward, which is kind of lame looking. Like, if there's interest, I guess I can do one game with the Honor Ward, one with the Victorious, and then I'm going back to Pylon. Otherwise, I recorded this before I actually knew it was Victorious Graves, or even how the Chroma thing worked. If you're not familiar, Graves is this year's Victorious skin, and based on what queue you're golden, that determines which of his chromas you get. So, they said there were 3 queues. I'm really hoping one of them isn't Twisted Tree Line, but I would not be surprised if that's the third one. It's Solo Queue, Flex Queue, and one other. I don't know if it's Group 5s or Twisted Tree Line. In case you're wondering why I don't do Twisted Tree Line, it's even more stale than this map gets at times. Generally, you'll have like a tank, a fighter, and a mage at best, and at times you'll have triple tank, triple fighter, and so on. It's just there's so little variety there that I really don't want to play it. Okay, so here's the... You have to pause to read it, but your passive is... Man, I can't even read that. Phenomenal Evil Power. Whenever you land a skill on an enemy, you will get AP. You can still last hit with your Q to get 1 AP off small minions, 2 off large minions, large monsters, enemy champions. You'll see me last hit champions with Q in this game, don't worry. In case you're wondering, last hitting with Q actually gives you 8 AP. 1 for contacting the enemy with the Q, 2 for being a champion kill, and then 5 for takedown. So before, the AP you got off of champion kills or assists used to scale with your Q, not anymore, it's a fixed 5. So as a result, you actually have incentive to use a lot more of your spells in lane, and you'll see me use the W a lot this game, so just a heads up. So I want to say the last time I recorded a Veigar game, the Q was the 2-part spell. It's a skill shot, it works like Lux's Q. It's pretty much exactly like Lux's Q now that I think about it. The shot will pass through the first target hit, hitting a second one if it's within range. Unlike Lux, where it gives you a CC snare, this will just give you AP if you can hit a champion or something with it. W is Dark Matter. I'm taking that second here at level 2, and the reason for that being is she's pushing, so I want to have a CC, or not CC, a wave clear spell of my own. And in case you're wondering, that has always been Veigar's W. So right there, I thought she was going to go over that way. I was trying to bait her in. Unfortunately, it didn't go as I had hoped. So after 1.2 seconds, the area you target on the ground will have a meteor or something impact it. I want to say this still has a 1-to-1 AP ratio, so late game this is going to be extremely painful. I don't know if I'm going to put anything in the title, but my final AP this game is 1,401. Let that sink in for a bit. So right there, she got creep blocked, had to take some tower shots. It's a little tricky to see what I was trying there. Since she auto-attacked me, I was hoping the minions would box her in, and then they just whittle her down, but she still has like half her health, so it didn't go as I hoped. Anyway, your E is Event Horizon. You target an area on the ground after, I want to say, 1.5 second delay. A cage will erupt from the ground. Anything that comes into contact with the walls will be stunned. Enemies cannot walk through it or jump through it or anything. They have to blink if they want to escape. This will come in play when Gnar tries to jump over or through my cage. He hits the wall and comes to a dead stop. So right there I did the one auto attack so that the tower would shoot it and I could last hit it with just an ordinary auto. I don't know how some of the other matchups are going to go, but for Veigar, especially in this one, last hit is a bit of an art, especially if you want to farm your Q. So at times what you'll see me do is I'll try to use the Dark Matter to open a hole in the minion wave so I can last hit something with the Q and then hit her. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. After a little while she starts to get the feel for it and knows better how to position and stuff. Then I have to try to do it to other characters, so just a heads up. Anyway, your ult is Primordial Burst. It's still targeted and it's still extremely nasty. So before how it used to scale off the enemy's AP, now it is just a plain and simple execute. It has, I want to say, a 0.7 AP ratio, but I'm not entirely sure. And it just does a lot of damage if the enemy is unhealthy. It caps when they're at 1/3 health. And in case you're wondering, you'll see me ult Sedge with this and actually kill her at times. So it's very, very devastating. Anyway, that is the skill set. Veigar used to have a crappy mana regen passive. I definitely am not sorry to see that go. I don't know if anyone was actually attached to that thing, but it was garbage. So the good thing is, once they got rid of it, they lowered the cost of his spells somewhat. It makes it a little bit more tolerable with meditation, but I don't know how it's going to be in the new season, because as of right now, there is no mana regen mastery slash rune slash whatever you want to call it. As such, characters like Lux and even to a certain degree, I guess, Veigar, they could be utterly, utterly screwed. So in case you're wondering, yes, as of the time between the Lux video and this one, I have been looking at the new runes. Some of them seem a little interesting, some of them seem pretty lame. And the thing is, I want to go back so I can go ahead and buy the mana component of the Morgana, since I'm running meditation, getting more max MP is really, really good. So right there I grab my refillable potion, grab my boots. And back to lane we go. So I know some people take teleport, but I prefer the flash ghost. At the rate it's going, it's only a matter of time until I pick up TF, right? In case you're ever wondering why I don't play him, I don't like the whole concept of him only having 2 damage spells. As a result, the 2 spells need to be higher impact than normal, and they don't really feel it. The Q is the wave clear move that, like, generally whenever I play him, I use that more for clearing minions than really much of anything else. And then the W just isn't reliable. You have to put a lot of time into him to understand which card is going to come out when, how fast it takes the cards to transition, how long you can hold it before it drops. I don't even want to waste my time with that, to be perfectly blunt. So right there I made sure to last hit that, and then I hit her with a Q. As a result, she takes a little bit of chip damage, yes, but the important thing is that whole AP stack. So right here what I'm trying to get a feel for is when I'll actually be able to last hit. Well, what I want to do is W the wave, knock them down to low health, and then Q the survivors to just get free stacks. It takes a while for Dark Matter to be able to do that, though. And right there I was trying to clip her and the minion, like I was talking about earlier, and no luck. So her black shield must have been on cooldown if she didn't just face tank the Jarvan flag and drag. You can see right there I can pop it fairly easily. And right here I can get the pink ward for my usual trick. And right there I grab Lucid Boots because if I can just have my stuff up more often, I think I'll be fine. And do I actually stick around for the pink ward? There we go. So like usual, I put that in the river brush so I can try to see someone coming. For this game, I'm not really concerned about a Soraka roam, but a Gnar roam can be extremely devastating, so he's the one I kind of have to watch out for. As a result, having the ward on the top side is going to be a lot more valuable. So right there I just poked her because I want revenge. Putting the points into the E because the stun duration does scale with the rank of the move. And I should also point out, this game we have no dragon control whatsoever, if I remember correctly. If you didn't notice, Morgana's healing because of the Ocean Dragon, and that makes it near impossible for me to push her out of lane. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, her passive is Spell Vamp. So she just has to drop her soil under the minions, and she'll start to heal rapidly off of that alone. And then the Ocean Dragon's going to give her even more. And then she's not going to have as much mana problem because the Ocean Dragon will just give her mana regen while it's at it. So I believe I still get the AP if she black shields to get out of the event horizon. So I'm not too concerned about that. So right there I was looking to see if she pink warded it. I was suspecting it would be because that's the angle she approached from when I was setting up the whole freeze type thing.
An ally has been slain.
And here's the end. So ult Q, 8 AP. Technically 9 if you count the ult also. And unfortunately for her, that's going to be how this plays out from here. So with her recalling, well, technically B, she's going to come back with items. As such, I want to go back, get some stuff myself so I can continue keeping the pressure up. So right here I want to grab the Fiendish Codex for more CDR. That gives me 20% combined with the Ionian boots. Right there you can see the breakdown of my AP. So if you notice right there, Sejuani is getting another Ocean Dragon to give her even more regen. And we just don't have control. One of those depressing things about the game.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
So right there we kill Cog, we lose Jarvan.
Double kill.
So this is the part I like. So Twitch starts pinging me when he didn't even realize, hey, the top laner's there too. I could have went, but that just means more people die. And fortunately the Twitch is a ball of rage, so it's going to get to the point where I just flat out mute him. And it looks like okay, there's the pings, and I'll mute his chat later. So yeah, I can't go a game without having one of these. So right there, without her ult, I don't have to worry as much about her doing a hard engage. And right there I was doing that trick I was talking about, trying to poke her through the minion. And there we go, with muting him entirely. So right there, I'm not entirely sure why she's pushing so hard, but I'm more than willing to accept the charity. And no, I didn't clip her there. So pretty much my win condition here is just farm up, because as I get more and more AP, I'm going to get to the point where I can two-shot her. And I'm not even talking about my ult, I'm talking seriously about QW. And if you doubt what I'm saying, don't worry, there's going to be a moment later on where I kill her at more than it might be like half health exactly, with just W. I highly doubt she was really expecting that, but just boom, she's dead. Since she doesn't have Roa, she's not actually as squishy, or she's not as tanky as she should be. And yeah. So if you notice, she's only getting the kills when Sejuani shows up. Meanwhile, I can kill her outright on my own once I poke her down with the with just the Q shots. So right there I was kind of confused on why Jarvan has the sweeper right now. And since I know Twitch is blind, I have to ping out the teleports here. So down she goes, and that's her teleport down too, by the way. Here, Twitch and Cog are gonna trade. But the important thing is we got assists off that while Cog's team did not. So it's hard to say if that was really worth giving up the EXP and everything, because Cog and Twitch are both hyper carries, so they both really want to farm as much as they can. Like, it's kind of hard to say. Both of them have an Ardent Sensor support. One of the ones who can really abuse it, since Janna has her shield and her ult, while Soraka technically has her spammable heal as well as her ult. Thing is, for the enemy team, the Gnar can use it also, while for us it'd be like Jarvan, and if he's just sitting there swinging, that might not be ideal. So anyway, with finished Murillo's and just the AP I've been accumulating, it's much easier to last hit. And then due to the Murillo's being complete, I have 30% CDR. So right there we got a Clipper. You can see that was maybe a tenth of her health, maybe 15%. Just have to keep doing that and then we can kill her. So notice Jarvan waited so long to come back that she has her flash now. Which completely defeats the point of playing Jarvan for one, because once her flash was down, all you had to do was ult and she's not going anywhere. But I have to point out, Jarvan just has no control over this compared to Sedge. So right here I end up going down. You can see Gragas and Gnar show up. Here Gragas screws Jarvan somewhat. Jarvan got lucky there. And I legitimately don't know what Gragas was doing. In case you're wondering, Janna and Twitch are fighting to the point where Janna refuses to shield him. So it's one of those games. So right there I'd say Gragas did make the right call by pushing that in. You have to remember that Morgana died in the fight too. Her teleport should still be down, so we can get that into the tower, have it bounce back. Well, even if it didn't, she'd just still push it, because that's why she's been playing, but I digress. So anyway, on that back I grabbed a needlessly large rod. I didn't plan on going death cap second, but I just want some sheer AP to try to burst her out. As you saw a moment ago, I'm hitting her with a Q alone for somewhere between 10 to 15%. So with a little bit more AP, I'm kind of hoping I can hit her for 20%. That's Ocean Dragon number 3, by the way. And right there I walked into that hoping she'd come closer so I could hit her with my stuff, because if you notice, my ult is up. If I can land the QW on her, she should be low enough to where I can just ult her immediately. Unfortunately, she's not like the Lee from the Lux game where it's really easy to bait. You can see right now I do have enough AP to just QW it. And there's our poke. I'd say we're getting to the point where we're hitting for about a fifth. Time to die, Morg. Aw, man. Okay, yeah, I still got her. So once again, I did the ult Q. That way I get the 9 AP. And then we got to force her out of lane. Remember, this is a pure solo kill. So I'm at the point where I can kill her on my own, but she still needs help in order to deal with me. So I can't tell if I hit her with that. The first shot doesn't do as much damage because of the Sejuani sheer amounts of armor and MR she gets. And right here I'm just telling Jarvan, whenever you see me type this, this is basically me saying, I've muted him, keep this crap up, you're getting muted too. So right there, we stun one another. She goes ahead and burns her slow prematurely. So right here I drop the Event Horizon so that she can't get out, and she dies to the Dark Matter. So unfortunately I don't remember if I'm running Bounty Hunter here or not, but that would be number 2 if I was. So anyway, bot tower's down, as a result Cog is here. I'm far enough along to where I actually have some CDR here on my W. As a result I can actually wave clear. So right here I want to go back, spend some of my gold, get some items, and then hopefully just be able to keep the wave at bay. So right there I grab a Fiendish Codex. I don't know I'm going to build that into just yet if it's Zonia's or Banshees. And the reason why that component first is for CDR. That puts me at 40%. So right there Jarvan fails the flag and drag, so he has to turn around and bail out. So I'm here now. And unfortunately I don't have Ghost up. My voice is starting to give out. So the significance of Ghost you'll see later on when I try to flank an enemy. And it's not like I'm trying to come out of Fog of War or Brush, I'm trying to travel in an arc to flank. You'll see what I mean later. So right here, I'm not entirely sure why Twitch is here, because I have this completely under control on my own. And I'm trying to signal that to him, hey, I'm winning this lane without you, buddy. Don't come here and cost me it. Pretty much what I'm hoping for is he'd go bot, he'd get that tower down there, and I just keep him at bay. With Meditation, Morellos, and everything else, I'm just hoping like Dark Matter will clear enough for me. So Cog is here now. As a result, you can see Twitch is traveling, which I'd say is a mistake. I think he got close enough to where they saw him. So right there you can see I hit Soraka for 400 damage with my Q. Pretty much a third of her health. So Jarvan has finally arrived. Now I can drop the cage so we don't have to worry about Gnar. You can see he actually jumped into the wall. So unfortunately the ult wasn't enough to kill him, but it lured him enough for Twitch to do the job. Here I'm going to go down, but I still get some CC down, which will give me more AP. And as long as the enemy or my allies can get an assist before it times out, I'll still get takedown to AP. So you see I didn't get anything off Soraka, didn't get anything off Cog. Overall it looks like it was a 3 for 3. So periodically you'll see me check the Dark Matter because I'm trying to figure out how much CDR I have for it exactly. Like, every 50 stacks you get gives you 10% and it's multiplicative. So you get 10%, then 19%, and then 10% of that, which is... I don't remember how they rounded exactly, that's what I'm trying to think. I want to say they rounded down, but I'm not 100% sure. Right there I'm just telling the team everything's up, so we should be able to contest this. Getting an Infernal Dragon is massive for me because I get the bonus AP. It doesn't actually do anything through my passive, unfortunately, but it's just sheer damage. But dumbass goes ahead and jumps right in. And that's pretty much the end of the dragon fight. We lose. Sadly, there's no way for us to actually take it or anything. We have no way to steal. Dark matter is way too telegraphed. They can seriously stop attacking when it's channeling, and eventually I will outdamage Smite with it. It's just at this stage of the game it's not happening. So unfortunately they're a little bit out of range from my dark matter. And then right here, this tower is handed over on a silver platter, so... yeah.
An enemy has been slain.
In case you're wondering, this is just me having no faith in the team, because like I said, Jarvan costs us the dragon, Twitch is too busy raging, I don't really trust Gragas to do anything. It, at the moment, kind of feels like it's me and Janna versus the entire enemy team. And part of it is, I don't really like trying to, well, in situations like this, I know it doesn't actually match the Riot definition, but this feels like boosting. If they seriously can't do stuff on their own, and I have to do all the heavy lifting for them, what are they actually learning? So anyway, Dark Matter is now packing enough punch to clear the range minions. Team has shown up, but they're just too late. They have all the subtlety of a sledgehammer. So I'll leave the mid to them. And basically I just want to keep farming. Okay, Twitch is going on, then I'm going top. So overall I'm not too worried about the Gnar, but I'm gonna botch my stun here. So, if I, well, okay, so giving the assist gold is nice for being a team player. The thing is, I don't know if you guys have seen the old Veigar games on the channel where I'd actually stun people under tower and have the tower do some of the dirty work for me. Part of it is with the whole delay thing on his E, it's a lot harder to do that these days, but I'm still fishing for it. So at this point, Q can kill them from full health. So right here, I can actually go ahead and take the tower. If you don't know, tower damage is somewhat adaptive, so even though I'm an AP character, I'm still dealing bonus damage to it through my sheer AP. So right there, drop the cage, so we don't have to worry about Gnar. Unfortunately, he's stacking MR because he was up against Gragas. He has the whole Cleaver, Fromal, Hex Drinker, so getting through him is not that easy just yet. Once I have Void Staff and Leandries, that will change, though. So I was expecting him to take that route. As a result, I'm trying to wait here to see if I can catch him off guard, but he's actually behind me. So right there, the Banshees block the Sejuani ult. I get caught in the Gnar stuff. But I can just walk away, no need to flash. And right there I was trying to do the whole poke thing, but there's another minion right there. Heartbreaking, I know. So keep in mind, Morg can only black shield one person, so if I can get them in the cage, Gragas can ult, that'll knock them into the walls, stunning them, stopping them in place, and then, best case scenario, Twitch would start to unload on them. So right there, the 5th dragon is spawning. I seriously don't think we're getting it because we did nothing for the first 4. And right here I'm trying to pick a fight with low health and low mana. This is when I really botch the stun. So right there he manages to stop in front of it, never getting stunned in the first place. Had I actually been able to use my spells while he was stunned, that would have been one thing. But while this was going on, no one moved. Like, the major theme I had in these promo games was the enemy team would pick a split pusher, my team would just screw the pick. In the Lux game we had the Fiddle, in this one we had the Gragas, and he starts to show up after the damn thing has gone down. He actually waits so long we lose 2 towers as a result. Right there he knocks him out of the Twitch stuff. So keep in mind right now we need Twitch to deal with him because he's stacked just sheer health and MR. There goes the 5th dragon. This was just sheer agony to play. So right here I'm taking a lot of damage because I'm trying to maximize my clear. Unfortunately for those I didn't have enough to queue them, so I have to do it this way. And keep in mind the first Krug will give 2 AP since it's a large jungle monster. Not enough to clear the melee minions, unfortunately. So we're starting to deal some damage. And I'm not entirely sure what happened in the Baron Pit exactly, but we did get it. I don't know if they were doing it and Jarvan actually managed to pull off the steal or what. No comment about the whole plan thing. So right here, since Gnar was bot, I'm thinking, hey, we can go ahead and get this. They're pushing mid, I don't want anything to do with them, so I'm sticking top. And right here is when you really get to see all that AP come into play for taking towers. Granted, I do have 2 cannon minions buffed by Baron, but those aren't as important, right? So I'm getting out of here before Twitch leads them right to me. And I'm moving towards Void Staff right now. So a lot of people complain about Death Cap not being that good, but since Veigar actually stacks AP, I mean passively, not just AP items, Death Cap is really core on him. It's going to amplify your spells significantly, and you'll be able to deal even more damage. Like, had I not gotten it, I don't think I would have broken 1000 AP this game. Once you do get to the late game, it seriously will give you multiple 100 AP. Just through the passive. So right there I found myself a pet yordle. Shame I had to put him down. Gragas, everybody. You can see I have no interest in the Soraka, I just want to get some damage down on the tower. As for Sedge, I do need to start chipping away at her so we can kill her. She's going to have about 5,000 hit points late game. Then when you remember her the defenses she gets through her W passive, I think it is, she can be a pain. So right there we did get her flash, which is pretty important. Like, she can just jump through walls anyway with her Q, but the flash, it stops her from doing a second jump. And right there, if you didn't see, I last hit one of the small wolves with my Q over the wall. Now, I didn't know Scuttlecrab actually counted as a large monster, but you'll see I get 2 AP from him right there.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
And right here I'm going to take all the small chickens. Basically I can get 5 extra AP doing this. I'll leave the big one for Jarvan and I'll be nice enough to Q it for him. I'm so thoughtful, I know. So in this pack you can see I have enough for Void Staff. I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to get as the last item, so I don't buy anything at the moment. Ultimately it's going to be Liandry's Torment, so we can try to deal with Sejuani and Gnar. It's going to give me more penetration first and foremost, but the most important thing is that lingering burn. So when I catch Gnar or Sedge in the cage, that will count as CC to double the Liandry burn, even though I don't have Rylai's or a Source of a Slow. So right there goes Elder Dragon. I can't emphasize enough how little control Jarvan had over the objectives this game. So check out that damage. That was technically the warning shot, because next time I do that, it's going to kill her. And the thing is, I'm actually hitting hard enough to where I think even Soraka can't really afford to heal that easily. That's not counting Grievous Wound or anything like that, I just mean, if I'm seriously hitting the enemy for 1,200 damage, somewhere in that ballpark, she can't afford to give up that much health. And then you realize that damage is all AoE. So right there I caught Sedge in the cage. Have to put Gnar down. I was thinking Sedge was going to re-engage, but it turned out not to happen. So keep in mind, while they were stuck in the cage, Gragas did nothing. And he pays the price for it. So Sedge thought she could bypass the cage by sticking it to the wall. Not the case. She eats a dark matter for her trouble. So right there you can see her hit points, you can see Morg's build. Basically, I'm vastly stronger than Morg. So right there I'm trying to tell them Elder Dragon's about to time out. They didn't really get to get anything done with it. Granted, they did have triple water, so they didn't really have much to do, but they can kind of mount a siege with that much regen. Hard part, of course, being just the whole part about me hitting them for so damn much. So right there, just cage the crab so that lowers its defenses. Beat it down with your stick. Then once it's low enough, Q it for 2 stacks of AP. Or evil if you want to call it as passive. So right there, I'm not entirely sure why we didn't move sooner, because the Janet Tornado gave us away. So right here you can see I'm just spamming cages. Flash the Gnar W stun. And in the end we get 2 of them for just 1 less. So right here is that whole flank from an arc type thing I was talking about. So right there, boom! From almost half health. So I was aiming for Soraka, but I'll take the Morg. So right there I'm ignoring Gragas because, for 1, I don't trust Jarvan to secure this, and 2, I can spam the Dark Matters for tons of damage here. And now you know why I don't trust the Jarvan, right? So remember how that was all according to plan earlier? Yeah. And just in case you forgot, remember, this is my promo game. This is the jungler I get when the game should matter more than normal. So right there I'm doing everything I can to make sure I hit 2 of them each time. That time I got 0. Basically, meditation is giving me just enough MP to keep spamming the spell. And right now we don't want to fight, obviously, because they do have Baron. So when all else fails, grab Leandries. Don't even know how he died, not even going to try to think about it. So right there you can see the team running towards me with their tails between their legs. And what's worse is the Baron buff actually will limit the dark matter damage. It shaves off 1/3 of it, I think. So instead of me hitting for like 1200 on them, I'm only going to be hitting for like 800. So as a result, I have to clear some of these out with my Q. So right here, Gnar's going to throw me into the gate. I'm going to take his invitation and just walk on out. And then once everything cools down, I can walk back in. Splat. Don't you feel bad for Morg? So right here is when Jarvan really overcommits. I mean, I did Ghost for this, hoping we might be able to catch them somewhere in something, but here's when I throw in the towel while he still chases. Granted, Soraka did just make sure that I couldn't follow, since they are a little concerned with my cage. In case you're wondering, when I hit the 1400 AP stacks, The W has a 1 2/3 second cooldown, I think, at that point. And then if you remember, it has a 1.2 second delay. I can almost spam that, akin to how Karthus does his Q. Except unlike the Karthus Q, that's a 1-to-1 AP ratio. Plus, I think Karthus's Q has like a fifth of the delay. It's only like a quarter second, I want to say, instead of 1.2. So, if you notice, all my spells are up. I'm kind of hoping, hey, maybe we can get a catch here somewhere. You can see Cog was fishing for his red buff. I was kind of thinking, hey, he sees it as an up, he's not even going to bother coming over here since he probably knows better. By the way, if you want to tell if that hit someone or not, you have to look at your AP to see if it goes up. If it does, that means you hooked at least one person. It'll actually tell you the exact number of people who got stunned. It's just, I didn't really have much to follow up on it just yet. So right here we're getting close to the end. Worst can worst, you can always just track my AP to know when we finally hit the finish line. And one thing I have to emphasize is, since I don't trust my team for really anything, that's why I'm going to keep trying to farm, even though technically I'm full build. I'm really trying to get to the point where I can seriously just drop a W on Sejuani or Gnar and take off half their health. In case you're wondering, you will see me W Gnar at full health, and you'll see just how much I can actually do. So right here we're going to get Sedge. So keep in mind that her passive is up, so as a result this is going to kind of be a glancing blow. The lingering burn is still there, and that's probably what's going to do the most. And even then you can see it's not going to do too much because she does have Warlocks. So right here's the final battle. So Gnar walks into the cage, I give him a Dark Matter for his trouble. I ult the Sejuani. And there's no one left to stop the Gnar. Unfortunately, right here, it's Gragas who breaks vision, so I couldn't kill him. And that in turn causes me to die. So, that's all, folks. Really frustrating game while playing it. So there you can see the breakdown. You'll have to pause to see what a specific spell. You might have to rewind a bit too. But that concludes the promo series, 3-1. So this gives me the Graves Chroma. And we can see the stats. So, right here I give the honor to Jarvan in the end, since kind of felt bad for him. This is the notification of promo completed. In retrospect, I don't know if I should have given that to Janna or not, since she didn't really help the Twitch. I don't know, I probably shouldn't have even honored anyone. But you can see I did the most damage actually beating Twitch. You can see we did a lot more than them. If we actually had a proper tank line, I think it would have been a lot safer for me, but yeah. So you can see the stats there, and well, I can screw around from here on out, I guess. Anyway, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.